Hello and welcome to the Cyber1 YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and in this video, part 11 of Fred's left hand, we're going to attach the bicep with the forearm attached and the hand on the end of that to Fred's shoulder. So in the previous videos, I have built up this whole assembly, mounting the power supply on the back end. To control the rotation on this servo, which rotates the arm around, I have unplugged that servo from its control point, and I just use a servo tester to drive it manually. So I have here the servo tester I've been using. I do have a video of what this looks like on the inside as well, and just a small 6-volt battery pack. So before we get into it, I think I have marked here a line where I think I need to bring the wires out. So keep in mind I've rotated this around already. So the front is on the far side. This is the back. And this is just to make it easier to get to the screw here and here when I reattach everything. This will poke out through the back and connect onto the plug on the back that we put on the bicep. Alright, so before we go too far, we need to put a plug on there. I think it'll be far easier if we do that. So let's proceed with that. Now, one thing we do need to note is our numbering scheme, or our wire scheme, which way we're going to go and what wire is going to do what. At the moment it's not connected on the other end, so I'm pretty free to do what I need to do. Ideally it's best if the scheme follows the same all the way through the robot. So this end here we're going to make as our positive wires, because on here you can see I've got that same set of wires as the positive. So as to avoid confusion, I'm going to colour this as well. Alright, so all well and good to colour in this end, but we need to make sure our other end is also the same. So for that, I'm going to pull out the top Raspberry Pi, which I haven't got plugged in at the moment. This is just a Raspberry Pi 3 with an LCD display, and I do have a loom in here somewhere that connects to it. What I have is, this is the other end of this cable, so we'll colour it as well. Just to avoid a little bit of confusion, and make sure we don't blow anything up in the arm. If you remember from the previous videos, those first 3 wires are the positive. At this point it's 20 volts, so we want to make sure we don't put that in the wrong spot. It is very difficult to get that smoke back into the part to blow up. Here's the other end of that loom for the Raspberry Pi. So this is a 6x2, so 12-way connector, JST type. Because what we're going on to is a male, we need to put a female on this end. It's actually better to have your power and control with the female coming from the source, and then you can have your male side as the load side. The reason for that is there are no exposed pins to accidentally short out, which is more important when you're running at 20 volt like we are here. Okay, so that's the hard part done, the connector put on there. So the next thing we need to do is prepare this to go on. So this is a spare part. It is the same as that part is on here. So we need to remove this off the bicep. In order to get this on, we need to be able to spread these two parts out, the two side walls, which means we're going to have to undo one side of this plate. And that's one of the reasons for the redesign of this plate, was to make it easier to get to these screws. Now, I haven't done this nut up fully, it's a nylock, so once it's fully engaged onto the thread, it actually locks into place. We don't want it over tightened anyway normally, but more importantly I want it loose to allow a little bit more flex as well. So let's open this up. So yeah, that's the same part. Yes, that one. Right, so this is the back, as I said before. This is the back, so we're just going to make sure they're all lined up. I might try and plug it in now. It might be easy to do it now. Yeah, they're right. Let's rotate that arm. It'll be problematic. Appears to be twisting and interfering part way down. Oh, the ring's rotated. So inside there is like a keeper ring, and it's rotated around. And I just broke it. Okay, so one of the issues I ran into just then was the ribbon cable was running down the back side of this tube, and the piston for the bicep, which you probably can't see, was running up and through that same section. Now, this wasn't a problem in the last build of thread. I think the issue is on the last build of thread, I had the wires come out on the front side and then go around to the back. That's what I've done this time. So I've routed the ribbon on this side going down, because the piston pushes up and goes more towards the back side. And with the wires on the back side, or the ribbon on the back side pressed against the back wall, it still clips the wires. By relocating it to the front side, it means I need a little bit more length through, which I stole from the back here. So we probably want 50 to 100 mil extra length on what I had. And then we come out the front side, and once I get past the block here, I then bend it, fold it over into the half, and go through above this block to the back side where my plug is. And it'll be folded in half at the plug anyway, so we'll just continue that fold through it. Now what I did find is with the backside secured, or the inside of the bicep secured on, and the bolt coming from the inside, which is what I did originally, I could remove this nut, remove this screw, have this secured on the backside, but on the inside, and take these two screws out, and this whole panel will come off. And I can demonstrate that, because it is something that's going to know. So if I undo that screw, and this whole section can come off. Don't try and operate it while it's like that, because there is absolutely no support. So you can see where I've run my wires now, and everything's clear. Now I have actually mounted on the back side of here an MPU 6050 inertial measurement unit. I have not yet wired it up, but I can unplug from here, and take that whole plate off to do the wiring. Now that I'm aware of these little issues, I can do something about possibly rerouting these wires to go through this plate for all of the ribbon, just to make it a little more secure and to hold everything better in place. All right, so I'll put this back together. Okay. I'll probably do that up tighter a little bit later. I have got a mid stomach, which is basically just above the hips, ready to, or almost ready to put it on there. These are the plans to put it on there, but I haven't recorded any of the assembly. I haven't finished testing the prints yet. And that'll give you a little bit more height sitting on top of his power supply there. That'll do for this video. In the next video, I will look at connecting up this end. We will be installing the TCA 9548A I2C multiplexer. This will allow us to run a lot more than two MPU 6050s on the I2C bus. So to see when that video comes out, don't forget to click on subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you like these videos, click on the like button. It's a form of support that helps the channel a great deal and costs you absolutely nothing. If you'd like to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon account, and you can join my long-term Patreons, Go Lucky, Lorenz Berger and Elmerels 45. Fred has a version online at the moment, talking in Discord, known as Fred Online. There is a link to the Discord below. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask questions in the Discord, and I will try and answer those as best I can. And we'll see you in the next video.